don't know what to do with my hands. Music is my life, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So name off some other like influences that you guys have. Any other big ones?
Yeah, grew up with Metallica, Pantera.
We are currently recording with Pablo from Chelsea Grin at Elevate Studios. Working on a 6-song EP that will be out sometime next year.
Oh, it's good. Okay, so new that music sometime next year. Okay, cool.
So we got about 20 minutes for our set on Thursday. Half an hour.
Actually, we've been bumped up to half hour. So
Okay.
Half-hour set. So that should be a good set for you guys. Hell yeah.
it's perfect because we didn't have set times before we all got together, and this is like a lot of us are really new. Most of the material we're going to be playing is newer stuff. If it's not new, then it's been rewritten, gone through a lot, you know. So
Right on. That was the other thing I was going to ask you guys. What are some bands you guys? This band is relatively new, right? You guys haven't been a band for.
well, as a whole, as of everybody you're seeing right now, yeah, it's very very new. Terry actually was a vocalist. Terry's a talented vocalist. He was jamming with some dudes named The Wake of an Arsonist. Thank you very much. Sorry, but fate turned out in our favor because I mean he's a talented bass player too, and we've been looking for that for a minute. Yeah, I mean the last 3 shows we played, I think 2 shows we played were bass were all backing tracked, and
Oh wow.
so yeah, we're really excited to have like the full band together and all that good stuff.
So what other bands have you guys been in the past? Can you guys give me some like examples that maybe people have heard of? And like, oh okay.
Adashore.
Okay. Ian,
Dead Vessel.
Okay.
That's how I know you.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
It was in us 3. There's actually 3 of us. That was from Orion's Wrath.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how you said that as you were blowing.
Yes.
he's like, hold on, I gotta stop this.
No.
Six or seven.
Just name them, Seb.
Never Before, Fire in the Skies, Only Clouds Above, Separation of Self. I filled in for the Archives a little bit. I filled in for Adashore a little bit. I filled in. I filled in for Charlatan a little bit. I'm jamming with A Traitors Last Breath right now. Separation, I'm really excited about.
Seb's just an all-around band horror.
I'm a drum slut.
Drum slut. There we go. That's a better term. All right.
Yeah, Seb just played the Division CD release show.
I was there.
It was a great show, dude.
I'm on an episode of this already.
Yeah, I got an.
Should be on that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're a podcast whore.
Andy's a podcast.
I like to be penetrated in more ways than just one, and I like to hit things in more ways than just one too.
That's awesome.
And Ian's wearing a condom.
So just one last question for you guys. This is kind of a fun thing that I do with all my guests. If you guys could think of a really awesome superpower to have or a mutant power, what would it be?
Don't start with me. I gotta think
Okay.
about this. This is important.
Anybody?
I want to go right before Chad.
Okay.
Teleportation. Always.
Okay. That seems to be popular. Okay. Yeah. What? Yeah. Go ahead. Name.
I'm Derek. I practice across the hall.
By himself.
By myself. If I was to select a superpower, it would be the ability to go an entire month without jacking off.
Dude, down.
That superpower would lead to a really rad superpower, dude.
Never been done.
Oh man.
Teleportation. My superpower is impossible. Teleportation? Is that current, or can you teleport to previous?
No, time is not involved in said teleportation. Just place.
Okay. Just make sure, because I'm going to say time travel.
No, you're not. You're going in a circle. And I'm the fucking third.
We can't have the same time.
Now people are gonna think he's still.
That's bullshit. Fuck you.
All right, sorry.
No. It's good. Anybody else?
Oh yeah, Ian's got it. Hey, I'm Ian. I enjoy long walks on the beach. Holding hand. I like to hold hands with men.
He also likes 90s dating videos.
Yes, 90s dating videos, and also if I were to choose a superpower, it would be the ability to get paid for having diarrhea and calling in sick.
Can I do one more?
Yeah. Okay, Seb. Go ahead.
I wish I had the power to have said that I've never done coke before.
You mean to say no to that?
This is just getting real.
I wish I had a flying magic carpet.
That would be awesome. Very, very awesome.
Cartoon or not, I've never seen a guy ride a flying carpet and not get pussy.
My brain is.
And last but not least,
Yeah, hey, you know, I've been listening to everybody else's superpowers. I'm like really stumped here. I'm not sure what I would do. Oh, you know what? I'd take the Squizguard Squig-Elf human super ability.
right?
Yeah, that'd be the.
About Grandpa's guitars?
Those guitars are for grandpas and pussies.
It's not brutal.
No, but it'd be epic shred ability, right?
All right. Okay, so where can people hit you guys up? Mostly Facebook or
801-668-4234.
Honestly, though, Facebook's probably our most used platform right now. We're definitely most active there, and you know, all the other social media streams. I don't think we have a Twitter yet, but
A Twitter?
yeah, anywhere really. I mean, hit us up, get a hold of us. We're
Facebook's and that's it.
Instagram. Yeah.
again? They're A Traitors Last Breath. They're playing November 16th with Suicide Silence and Upon a Burning Body. That should be a kick-ass show. Make sure you get tickets for that. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks for having us, buddy.
That was a lot of fun hanging out with those guys. I see them all the time. Like I said, we're next door neighbors to them at downtown. It's always great to talk to local musicians that are so passionate about what they do. They may work their 9 to 5s and put in their work hours every week, but this is what they love to do. You can tell. They had a lot of high tech stuff. I mean, metal these days is getting so high tech. They had like digital mixers and all kinds of crazy crap for backing tracks, and I was impressed. Those guys are on a level. Even my band's not on at all. Like just leaps and bounds technical wise. And they sounded great. I've heard them jam, and it sounds good. Make sure to go check out their show. There's them and lots of other great bands that are opening up for Suicide Silence. Make sure you check that out. Our next segment is simply upcoming events. These events are taken straight from jrcslc.com. All right, so these are just within the next couple of weeks, these events are happening. Make sure you hit them up and get your tickets quick so that you don't have to pay the day of price. Next upcoming events going to be Microwave with Household, Bills, and Rejoin the Team. That's at the Loading Dock November 14th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $13 in advance, and that's an all-ages show. Next is and I know I've said it twice or 3 times already on this podcast, but I'm going to say it again. Suicide Silence with Upon a Burning Body, Slaughter to Prevail, Prison, and A Traitor's Last Breath. And then again, that's November 16th at In the Venue. It starts at 6:30. It's an all-ages show. Tickets are $20 in advance. Next show is Origin with Arc Sphere, Defeated Sanity, Discarmate, Visceral Disgorge, The Kennedy Veil, and Alumni. A lot of bands on this bill. That's going to be at Metro Music Hall, November 17th. Starts at 6 p.m. It's 21 and older, that show. Tickets are $20 in advance to that. Next show is Ocean's 8 Alaska with Invent, Animate, Day Seeker, Afterlife, and Hollow I Am. This show is going to be at the Loading Dock November 18th, 6 p.m. It's an all-ages show. Tickets are $13 in advance. Last but not least, Set to Stun with Northern Ghost, Away at Lakeside, Below Fiction, and Chronic Trigger. That show is going to be at the Loading Dock November 28th, 6:30 p.m. It's an all-ages show. Tickets are $10 in advance. Make sure you check out these shows. More than likely, you're going to be seeing the local bands open up for the national acts. So it's a good way to see a touring band, a great way to support local bands, too. That's what I love about JRC events. Hit them up at jrcslc.com. You can get tickets there. I'm sure most of these events also ticket fly. That does it for this podcast's upcoming events section. One last segment for you for this episode. Real quickly, we're going to do the album and song challenge of the week. First, the album that I want to challenge you guys to go buy and listen to all the way through is by a band called the Manchester Orchestra. and their latest album that just came out is called A Black Mile to the Surface, and it's probably one of the best albums I've heard in a long time. Yes, I'm a huge Manchester Orchestra fan. Their last few albums have been a little bit, I don't know, a little bit too dark for my liking. But A Black Mile to the Surface is a good mixture of that, like, really emotional, really angry, slash, just gives you all the feels. So, again, that's the Manchester Orchestra, A Black Mile to the Surface. Buy that album, listen to it from front to back. It's definitely worth it. And then the song challenge for this week, it's going to be a local band, but they're getting huge. It's by a band called The Aces, and it's a song called Stuck. It's a really good poppy song. The new alternative styles, little 80s flair. But man, it's getting a lot of radio play, and it's really good stuff. Definitely go check that out. Again, that's a song called Stuck by a band called The Aces. They're from Utah County. So it's another local band that's making it big. It's great. So go ahead and support those. And that's the album and song challenge of the week. That about wraps it up for this podcast. Thanks for listening, I'm going to post this as a video because that seems to work better. So thanks for watching and listening. Episode 2 of the Underground Podcast with Casey Jackson. I appreciate all the support. My email address is theundergroundpodcastcasey@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know how you like the show. If you hate it, then that's cool. You can email me. I'll probably just read it and cry and then, delete it, but that's fine. Anyway, I love growing from my mistakes, so if I make mistakes, you can point them out. That's cool. I'll take them with a grain of salt. So yeah, and then hit me up on the Facebook page at The Underground Podcast Casey. And I usually respond really quick if you message me there. So, again, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the local scene. This is The Underground Podcast. I'm your host, Casey Jackson. Rock steady, Salt Lake.